Morning, everyone. I've just arrived at Mauritius Hotel, a beautiful little boutique hotel that's based on the west coast of Mauritius, in the Tamarin area, Black River. Today, we're going to be doing an interview with Boris. Boris is the managing director of a management company based down here on the west, and we're going to be discussing permits and how do you actually get into Mauritius, work permits, business permits, retirement permits. So hopefully, he's going to answer all your questions. Morning, viewers. I'm here with Boris. Boris is the managing director of a management company based in Tamarin, and this is the first video in our series. Boris, thanks for agreeing to meet with us.
Thanks, Shane.
And we're just going to discuss permits, and how to start your trip to live in this beautiful country. And we're at the Mauritius Hotel today, on the beach in La Punaise. And we're conducting the video here just to give you guys a little bit of a taste of some of the beautiful places that you can pop out to have breakfast and get to know the country. They have kiddies' birthday parties here, we've been here multiple times. They've got a heated pool, nice for the kids to jump in the pool even when it's the middle of winter. And so let's take it from there. Boris, if you can just introduce yourself.
Shane, thank you. Yeah, great to be here. And a bit of background on myself. So I was born and bred in South Africa. Worked most of my life in Johannesburg, so roughly about over 11 years ago made the decision to move to Mauritius. Haven't looked back since. We left South Africa in April 2009, so I'm going for 12 years here.
So you're one of the long-termers?
I'm one of the long-termers here, so I've been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Yeah.
Kids are all here. One was born here, my wife is obviously with myself, so we've really been enjoying it. We're under long-term permanent residence over here for 10 years.
Oh, that's great.
So, still have some family in South Africa.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad to flit back and forth.
Okay.
It's not a long flight and all of that, so we still get to meet the family and see them, which is nice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the positives, especially for South Africans. I know we've got we're going to have a lot of South African viewers on the channel, but there's also going to be French, also European people that we open to helping everyone. But obviously, from a South African point of view, we've seen it, done it. Also, myself being here now for 14 years, we met about 10 years ago. So yeah, we just one of the people that we want to tap into our network and help our viewers make the process easier. So I just wanted to jump straight in, Boris. So what are some of the main questions as a management company? Were you handling permits, visas,
Yes.
relocations, business transactions, opening companies? What are some of the main questions you get?
So the one of the main questions, other than opening companies, is how to come and live and work over here.
Okay.
And under what type of permits can the family come over, the investor, or the husband or the wife, and how do the kids also come over?
Okay.
So we get quite a lot of queries regarding that. And there's different permits that you can apply for to come and live and work. Some permits allow you just to live.
Yep.
Others are a combined live and work permit.
Okay.
So starting at the top, you get the occupation permit.
Yep.
That's there for people who are self-employed.
Yep.
When they start a little business over here, they don't form a company, they run a sole proprietorship. Then you get an investor permit. Those are usually investors, businessmen, women who want to set up a business in Mauritius.
How much is that investment? Is there a minimum investment?
So there's a minimum investment for investors. It's now you have to land about $50,000 in the bank account. So you first form the company.
Yep.
It has to be a global business license company, so it's a specific type of company. And then you have to invest about $50,000 into that company. You can do with that money what you want after you've invested.
Okay.
So that's the minimum. And then there's certain criteria that you have to fulfill over the period. You get a 10-year permit, right?
Okay.
So
that's new. So it used to be.
That's brand new. It used to be $100,000.
Yep.
And the permit was only valid for 3 years, renewable every 3 years. So now the permit's extended to 10 years, which is great.
That makes it really
makes it worthwhile.
Yeah.
It's not that temporary feeling where you only got 3 years. And then the other permits are the professional permits. So what we usually find is the husband or wife combination, where the husband invests his $50,000 and he gets the investor permit. The wife works for his company.
Yep.
And then she gets a professional permit. It can be vice versa. It can be the wife investing the 50 and the husband working, depending on the circumstances. And then the children get a dependence visa.
Okay. What up to what age is that? Because I think there was it used to be a number of 23.
It's 24 years of age. So when the kids reach 24 and above, they can remain in Mauritius, depending if they're studying at a university. Then they can get a student visa and carry on.
And there are multiple universities. Yeah, there's a few Australian universities, British universities,
You've got Middlesex University in the southwest.
Yeah.
You've got Charlestown there as well. So there's a lot of campuses, on-site campuses that are from Australia and the UK.
And I've heard from friends of mine they're great campuses, great colleges, great universities.
Very lovely. Middlesex is brand new and it's been around for 4 or 5 years. So a lot of African students are going there. And good quality education. So yes, and look, if a child's gone over 24, they can also apply for their own permits as self-employed if they want to. So there's ways and means you can carry on and stay with the parents if you want to. The professional permit, you have to earn a basic salary of roughly about $1,500 per month.
So that's if you want to be employed with a company.
That's if you want to be employed with a company, you get that permit. So,
and does the company do that application, or does the individual do that?
The company has to do the application.
So you have to get the job first. The company's got to do all the paperwork.
Exactly. But if you're looking at a family unit, typical South African family with businesses in South Africa, they want to move over here. The husband does his 50. The wife gets the occupation permit $1,500. They both work in the company, which is great. And then the other permit's the retirement one. So if you're 50 years or older, you can have a retirement permit for 10 years to live in Mauritius. That gives you the right to live and not work.
And property? Could they buy property?
So the last one is the property. So permits, residents linked to property. You can buy in various schemes like a real estate scheme, integrated resort schemes, property development schemes. Those will allow you to get residence and tax residence for the period you hold on to the property. Once you've sold it, you lose it. And there's also a long-term, long-stay visa. It's not really a permit or a residence permit. But that's if it's brand new as well. If someone's bought an apartment, ground plus two floors, and if you've invested a minimum of $500,000, you'll have some of those apartment schemes which aren't in these integrated resort and real estate and PDS that people have bought, but they can get long-term, long-stay visas.
Because I've also heard now they're doing these smart cities where people can actually, in a certain category, can buy their own property and build.
Exactly. So, I mean, the smart city scheme is...
But it's only applicable to the smart city scheme. That you
only
can buy
to the smart city scheme, So, I mean, you can buy and build there as well, minimum investment. If I recall, it's $375,000.
Including the land price.
Including the land price, then you can get that permit. You can build on it. So, I mean, there's lots of opportunities in different schemes around the island as well. So, usually the easiest way to get into the island is doing the investor permit. It's far cheaper. It's $50,000. And then what we normally advise clients is take your time whilst you got your permit to decide where you want to buy a house for long-term purpose. At
any point, can you change your permit?
You can flip between different permits. So if you're on a retirement permit and you want to do business in Mauritius, so then you can change your permit to either become self-employed or get an investor permit. So,
and your dealings with who do you deal with? You deal with the board of what was the previous board of investors?
The previous board? It's now called the Economic Development Board.
And you guys handle all that administration for the customers?
We handle everything there. There's 3 entities there. There's Passport Immigration, the Prime Minister's Office, and the Economic Development Board. So those are the 3 institutions that kind of grant and monitor these types of visas and permits. So we deal directly with them. It's an online system, the permit application. It is a bit technical, so we encourage people to use the management companies and other professional immigration companies.
And I can totally vouch for that, because I've had friends that have tried to do it on their own and they've paid a lot of school fees. And there's the old saying, pay and the pain goes away.
No, exactly. So those are the 3 schemes, or the various permit options. comparable to, I think, international, it's quite relatively cheap to then come and live and work here. And yeah, I mean, it's a great business environment. The tax rates are business tax rates 15% to 3%, depending what business are you selling goods, exporting goods or services. And then personal income tax is at 15%. It's a worldwide tax basis, but it also works on a remittance basis. Whatever you earn here, it's sourced, you pay tax on, and only if you remit income in, you pay tax on. No capital gains tax, no inheritance tax for the South Africans. You're not going to pay your 20% estate duty on death and things like that. No capital gains.
That's quite a big one. Yeah.
So quite a big one too.
And Boris, there was chats about bringing parents. Was that put through?
That's been put through. So the occupation permit holders, so those are the self-employed investor professional.
So if you have like a granny, grandpa, they can
come along. So the parents, it's linked to the occupation holders. You just got to be a bit careful. If the husband, let's use that example, has the occupation permit, he can bring his parents.
Okay, so
the wife cannot bring her.
Okay.
Unless she gets her own permit.
Okay.
It also applies to, they've changed a common law partner. In the past they didn't allow that.
Yep.
The spouse, common law partner, children, stepchildren, adopted children as well.
Okay. So basically what we're saying is Mauritius is really opening up its borders. They want foreign investment. They're welcoming people to come over here and invest in the country and grow the company.
Absolutely.
So I think one of the stats we saw was that in 2025 they're going to be looking at a negative birth rate here in Mauritius.
Correct.
And I think there was a big wake-up call in Parliament, and I think that was one of the reasons they've opened the borders, encouraging foreigners to come in here and invest and live and go to school and study here. So I think it's a great positive for Mauritius.
Yes.
To get some foreign income and also to just get some foreign experience. For us, it's exciting. We run several businesses. Yeah.
I mean, the government's whole investment is to push Mauritius as a high income economy.
Yeah.
So and to do that, you're quite right. I mean, the birth rate has dropped, so they are attracting foreign investment, and that will increase. And as what's very positive is the longer term permits that have been allowed. So people can now be more comfortable with establishing themselves in Mauritius, having these long-term views as opposed to this short-term view of only 3 years.
Yeah.
What's interesting, if you have
because 3 years goes like this.
3 years goes like that. If you have been on these permits for 3 years, something new that's come in as well is after the consecutive 3 years on the self-employed investor and professional, you can apply for 20 years. Right?
Oh, wow.
So it's 20 years.
It's a game changer.
It's a game changer, as good as being
living
a citizen. Yeah. So. A lot of clients also ask us, can we get citizenship? That's also quite an interesting question. Technically, yes, you can. There's a registration process to be registered as if you're a Commonwealth citizen. So South Africa qualifies for that. I think France, UK as well. And there's also a naturalization process. And in theory, you can, but it's at the discretion of the government, the Prime Minister's office. And if it's in the public interest.
So you'll be a good boy to get your citizenship.
Good boy, good investor, employ people. Then you've got, after 5 years of living in Mauritius, you can apply.
Okay, so I know several people that have received that.
Yes.
It's also a bit of a tedious process, but they have received it. So the guys have come here, opened businesses, lived here with their families, people of good reputation.
Yes.
They're outstanding members of the community. And they've applied and they've got their citizenship.
Yeah.
So that is also on the table. So
exactly. That's positive. I mean, where else can you get that kind of benefit? It's very difficult. I mean, Portugal, after 5 years of being permanent resident, 6th year, you can do that.
But there's also something to do with the SADC, because Mauritius falls into a SADC country, so that's also a positive.
SADC and COMESA.
And COMESA. So even for importing goods from South Africa and products, so if guys have businesses there, and you want to come set up that same business here or run your administration from the side and your invoicing from the side, you guys are welcome to contact us and we can walk you through that process.
No, absolutely. I mean, being part of those 2 trade blocks, if you have value addition on your products on this side, so if you're in the free-port in the manufacturing sector, you can import duty-free into those trade blocks.
That's
kind
massive.
of worked. Yeah.
So just thank you for your time. If the viewers, you're looking for more information, you want to get in contact with Boris, you can bounce us an email.
Brilliant, thanks, Shane.
Thanks. And if you need any more information, just remember to ask the roles.